and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here today. I'm going to be taking you along with me in a couple bookish days in my life. I'm going to be reading, I'm going to be drinking lots of tea, I'm going to be going on a couple little adventures. It's going to be a lot of fun. So sit back, make yourself a cup of tea or hot chocolate or whatever you like, and let's have a great weekend together. Mornings tend to leave my room kind of a disaster, and even though it's actually noon, I need to clean this room up. So I need to make my bed, I need to put some clothes away. This is normally like what I do every morning before I start school or work or whatever it is. I always do this. So I'm gonna put a record on in my record player and I'm gonna get into the cleaning. Okay, my tidying is done. I opened up my windows to let the fresh air in. It's the first sunny day all week, which I'm so excited about. I definitely want to get outside in it. But before I do that, I have to do some school. So I'm going to take you along with me as I do that. My school, so now it's time to get into writing. I normally write a lot on Fridays. Today's Friday, but I have work, so I'm not gonna get a ton done. My priority is going to be actually getting a blog post ready. Normally I don't do that on Friday, but I have plans on Monday, so I need to make sure I get that done. So this blog post is my 1-year anniversary. I'm very excited and it's crazy. I'm doing a Q&A and like a little recap thing. So I have to piece everything together. Like I have most of what I need, but I need to piece it all together. So we're gonna see how that goes. I just finished my blog post. It's looking good. I don't have photos in it yet, but that'll happen. It took not that long, so that was good. I didn't film it because it's kind of boring to just watch me like clack away. Yeah, I was really hoping and planning that I'd be able to work on one of my novels today, but I'm not sure that's gonna happen because I have to go to work pretty soon, but we shall see. We shall see. Hopefully I'll get some work on it done though, like this weekend, because I haven't worked on it in like 2 weeks. Well, actually no, I did work on it like a couple days ago, but I haven't been working on my novels very much. I've been kind of doing a lot of blogging stuff and haven't had really many like creative fiction writing mindset days, if that makes any sense. But I need to do it because it's important to me. So I'm gonna try to do some of that soon if I can. afternoon now, and I have two things that are crucial for me in an afternoon. One is a caffeinated beverage. Today I'm doing coffee, which is not normal. Normally I have tea, but when it starts getting warm, I always crave iced coffee. And the other crucial thing is chocolate. And actually there's another crucial thing. Sometimes it's writing, sometimes it's like school or company or YouTube or a movie, but normally it's books. I'm reading 2 books this afternoon before I have to go for work. It's gonna be like 10 minutes. But I have this school book, which is about World War One, but literally like there's no plot. It's just things happening, but there's like no story to it. It's weird, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm almost done. And I got this from the library, this amazing book. It is Jane Austen cover to cover, and it's about all of her book covers from the time of her book's publication to now, different translations, different like movie adaptation covers, and it's so interesting. And actually I'm gonna start reading it. I've only really flipped through it, so I'm very excited to read more of this. How are you? I wish for once we could answer each other honestly. We would stop feeling the need to shroud each miserable feeling with the empty phrase, I'm good. I want to understand what's bothering you, the hidden hurts that lead you to hurt an innocent stranger. I know you want to be seen, just like me. I see you. I know that good is a false answer, a practiced lie falling from your lips. Let down your guard. Darling, you're safe. Even in the midst of perfect strangers, you don't have to hide what you're really going through. Hey there, it is Saturday. I have not talked to you at all today. I just took a little clip of my breakfast. And that is because I had work today and I just got back not that long ago. I also worked last night, but the work is done. I'm done for work for a little bit now, a couple days, so that's very exciting. So for the rest of my day, I was thinking again about working some of my novel, but it got late. I got back later than I expected, so I don't think I'm gonna be doing that. I just feel depleted energy wise. So tonight is gonna be kind of a chill, bookish, fun night. Self-care, if you will. But before we get into those little things, I wanted to share a few things with you. The first thing is I got some decorations for spring for my room. I'm very excited. It's nothing crazy, but you see I have those flowers up there. I also have them on this bottom of the bed. You can't see them, but I have these white flowers and I love them. I bought them last year at Hobby Lobby, and I was thinking I want to get more flowers. Last year I actually didn't have my curtain rods up, so I was just on my bed. So I bought 2 more strands of flowers. One's gonna be on my headboard and one's gonna be on my other curtain rod. So I'm gonna be doing that in this video. They were $9.99 and then 40% off, so it was pretty good. So yeah, I've got those. I also have been reading a little bit here and there, and I want to share what I've been reading this week with you. I feel like I haven't read much this week, and I feel like I didn't read much in February either, but I actually did. I read 14 books, but I DNF'd 6 books, so I was reading a lot, but I wasn't finishing books. So yeah, I want to share what I've been reading. I haven't been reading that many novels, which is interesting this week. I don't know what's up with that. So I'm gonna share. Yesterday I finished this, which is The Book That No One Wanted to Read by Richard Ayoade. I don't know how to say that, but essentially it's literally this book is talking to you and talking about what it's like to be a book, and it's kind of a Inception type thing, but it was actually really fun. It was funny. It's definitely younger reader level, but I did enjoy this. This was a good book. I just finished. I didn't think I was gonna read this whole book, but then I did. It was for research for a blog post series I'm doing. I'll link that down below. But I finished reading The Little Woman Movie Companion. I got it actually before oh my gosh, books are falling. before I started my blog post series about Little Women movies, but it was primarily for research because there are like these pages like about all the characters, like who played who, and kind of about like the creative process, kind of about like things like how they shot different scenes and stuff like that. But it was actually just really fascinating. They talk about original Little Women, they talk about like the filming process, they talk about the actors, they talk about little things like props and costumes, and even like food and how they did that for the film, which I just found fascinating. So I would highly recommend this if you are a fan of Little Women. If you are interested in how period dramas are made, I definitely recommend this. Also, if you just like aesthetic vintagey things, this is the book for you. I also have been reading another like bookish book, and I showed you this yesterday, but I've been reading it. Like, it's been my primary book right now, and that is Jane Austen from cover to cover. This is so fascinating. I've learned things I didn't know about publishing in the Regency period, what that was like, especially especially as a woman. So what that was like for Jane, and how her copyrights worked, and all this really interesting, nerdy, fascinating stuff. And again, like the pictures are just so pretty. Like all these different editions. Oh yeah, I have a Jane Austen bookmark that I made. This sticker is from the Wandering Press Shop. I'll also link that down below because I love her stickers and I think you should check them out. She does a lot of book related stickers, like Little Women, Pride and Prejudice. She does things like ACOTAR, Gilmore Girls, Taylor Swift, all that stuff, but I was drawn to the classic book stuff. So, and then I'm also reading, I have not gotten very far, and that is my final Jane Austen novel. It's crazy. I've had a crazy journey. I went from being like an absolute Jane Austen hater to now like really loving her work. So I'm reading the final novel of like the original 6. Obviously there's like Juvenilia and Lady Susan and all the unfinished books, but of like the mainstream ones, this is the last one, and that is Mansfield Park. I've read like literally 1 chapter, so that's something else I'm kind of working on. And then I've been reading this book for like a month and a half or something. My library doesn't do late fees anymore, so there's no reason for me to return it. And it's absolutely fascinating. It's another really nerdy book. I feel like all these books I'm talking about are super nerdy. But this is Emily Dickinson, The Gorgeous Nothings. I want to own this book. This is a library copy, but Emily Dickinson wrote all of her poems on envelopes. And these are scans of her envelopes, which I believe are at Harvard. And you can read like her poetry, how she intended it to be read or how she wrote it. And I have trust issues now, honestly, because so many of the poems are like structured and written in a certain way that the meaning is completely different. And then I'll look it up online, like on the Poetry Archive, and the poem reads totally differently. They've taken out things. The message almost is completely different. So I think this is fascinating. If you are an Emily Dickinson fan, definitely would recommend this. And another thing, one more thing I want to talk about, and that is actually a YouTube video that I was watching on my break at work today. It's a Morgan Long video. I love Morgan Long. If you can't tell, my videos are kind of inspired by her. I only recently started watching her videos, but I find them so beautiful and so inspiring. And in her video, she was talking about confidence, and she was talking about how we feel like we have to wait for a certain point to do a certain thing. And she was specifically talking about things like painting your nails a bright color or wearing lipstick or dresses or whatever that is. And that really hit home because it's something like I struggle with, and feeling like, well, someday I'll feel confident enough to do this. And I will link her video down below. I think it was really inspiring. And I also think it relates in many ways to being a creative person. Like, we think someday I'll feel confident enough to start a blog, or someday I'll feel smart enough to write a book, or someday I'll be okay with indie publishing, or someday I'll feel confident enough to, sell my artwork or start an Etsy shop or start a YouTube channel. We all have these like benchmarks that we think maybe when I'm 18 I'll feel like I can do that, or maybe once I'm out of college, or maybe when I start high school, or whatever that is. And we let these ideas and these like goals that we set for ourselves define our creative process, define who we are as a person sometimes. And that's not what God intended. That's not what we're supposed to do. God has called us to do scary things sometimes, and sometimes that means doing something like starting a blog or, you know, writing that book. I know for me, I wanted to start a blog for like 3 years, and it took me 3 years to start my blog. I've wanted to have a YouTube channel for probably like 6 years, but I'm only starting that now. And I want to encourage you to start sooner. Like, you're never not going to feel afraid. You're never going to feel confident, but you will be confident once you start doing that. So I just want to encourage you in that. And thank you, Morgan Long, for inspiring me and kind of bringing this little conversation that you and I are having about. So I would definitely recommend you checking out that video, because in addition to just her being inspiring, it's very aesthetic and fun. She talks about books, she makes sweets, and it's a good time. So with that, I'm starving. I'm gonna go get a snack and I'm going to read, because what else would I want to do with my life? So I will see you in just a second. Okay, I got a snack. I got some microwave popcorn. It's like my favorite thing in the world. And I got some tea. This is like a blackberry citrus tea, and I just love this mug. It's like an amber teacup. So I'm going to have my little snack, and I'm gonna read the Jane Austen cover to cover book, because I'm really enjoying that. Hello there. It is now Sunday. It is about 2 p.m. I have not filmed anything because I had church this morning, and this is pretty much what I've been doing all morning. But now I'm home and I'm comfy. So I'm gonna do some things. I have a few things on my agenda. I'm gonna take you with me as I do them. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to hang up the flowers that I bought yesterday. That's not okay. I'm gonna hang up these, because if I don't do this today, I'll probably forget to do it. I probably won't ever do it. So I'm gonna do that. And while I do that, I'm going to listen to a record. I have a very small record collection, but it's growing. And this is The Sound of Music. I got it at Goodwill for $1.99. It's a little scratched up on some songs, but other than that, it does the job pretty well. Then I also have to plan tomorrow. I have a few things I want to figure out, and then after that I'm probably just gonna read or watch YouTube or something. I'm gonna try to start reading a novel today, because I really haven't been reading novels. I've been reading like nonfiction stuff. So I'm trying to find something that I feel like reading, so that I'll actually just enjoy it and not be like stressed. Also possibly might work on my reading journal, because I'm pretty behind, but I don't know. We'll just see how it all pans out. See how it goes. why I put off doing things like that. Like I always do. Like I always buy things and I forget to do them, and then it takes me like 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad. So now I have my flowers up. I'm going to start planning tomorrow. And I have some exciting thing to tell you. I'm going to New York City tomorrow and I am taking you with me. I'm very excited, but I have to plan some things that I want to do, or else I won't end up doing anything while I'm there. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a cup of tea because that is essential always. And then we're going to do some research, which is my favorite thing in the world to do. So it's going to be a good afternoon. Okay, so I spent a little time on YouTube Shorts looking at like food things, because honestly, YouTube Shorts is a great resource. I know like it's mostly entertainment, but you can search for different places or hashtags and you can find things, and often they're trying multiple things in one short, so you can see what they say or get some ideas of places you want to try. So it's a little tip for traveling. Now I'm going to watch some fuller length videos and research some places that I have written down, trying to find some eating spots and maybe a thing or two to do. So yeah. Okay, so I did some research. I plan tomorrow and now I'm exhausted, so I'm vegging out, and that is totally okay. I want to remind you that like it's cool if that's what you like to do, if that's something you need to do to help yourself have energy for later, then do that. So I'm watching a new discovery of a YouTuber. Her name is the Sunny SG, and she lives in Florida and she does like really cute vlogs, and she's a Christian as well, so I love that. I'll link her below as well as the other things I said I was gonna link. And yeah, that's kind of how my Sunday afternoons often go anyways. The flowers look so good. I just finished my lazy afternoon and I changed my outfit. Like I literally keep changing my outfit today. I don't know. But I'm starting a book. And I'm going to start The Last Bookshop in London by Madeline Martin. It sounds interesting. It's World War II bookstore vibes. London. Yes. Yeah. That's pretty much me. It's pretty much what I like to read. So I'm going to, you can't see that, start this. I just wanted to show you this. I've been in a bookmark making phase where I'm putting like quotes on bookmarks and putting stickers on it, and it's not fancy or complicated, but it's so much fun. And this is an Emily Dickinson one. I made 2 Emily Dickinson ones, but I cannot find my other one, which is very sad because I thought it was really funny and cute. If I find it, I will show you. But yeah. Good morning, friends. We are going to New York. Hello there. It is a few days later, a few days since I was in New York City. and I wanted to chat with you a little bit before the end of this vlog. The first thing I want to talk about was this book, which is The Last Bookshop in London by Madeline Martin. I was not expecting to enjoy this book as much as I am currently enjoying it. It is about our main character, Grace, who moved to London just before the war and got a job in a bookstore because she needs to get a letter of reference before she can work at a bigger department store. But through that, the war begins, and she finds that the bookshop becomes a safe haven for so many people to find books. And then she starts realizing that reading is also a safe haven for her. And it's a fascinating, very empathetic story. I'm very enjoying it. I was expecting it to be a romance, but it's not really. There's like a touch of romance, but hardly any at all. And I think I really love that in a historical novel. Now, another thing I really love about this book, it's mostly like a personal thing, but so many books I've read from World War II England are from children's perspective. And the children were sent out of London because they were afraid of bombing. And so there really weren't any children in London at the time of bombings. So this book takes place during all these bombings, which we don't read about in children's literature. So I really love that, and I love being able to read about that. It's definitely difficult, it's definitely a little gruesome, but it's really, really good. So I want to show you what I bought at the Strand bookstore in New York City. I know you saw me visit it. The Strand is the largest independent bookstore. I think it's in the world. It might be America, but I think it's the world. It is like a whole city block practically. It is an amazing, huge bookstore. It's my favorite place we visited while we were in the city. I wish I could have spent hours and hours and hours there. I couldn't, but I did bring some goodies back with me, so I want to share them with you. Got them in my little bag from the Strand. So the first thing I got was a mug. I'm a mug person. I love mugs. I don't need more mugs, but I always get them. So this is the mug I got at the Strand. It is like a library bookstore or something with cats and clocks and plants, and I thought it was really cute, and it's a good size. Then the next thing I got was these bookmarks. They're like clip-on bookmarks. They're very, very pretty. I love them very much. I'm excited to use them because I always use just like paper bookmarks. So to have something a little special to put in books is wonderful. The next thing I got wasn't from me. It's from my friend who really wants to go to the Strand, but she lives kind of far away. So I got her this adorable sticker. I'm going to send it to her. She might see it in this video before she gets it. So if you're watching, this is coming to you very soon. And then I actually did get some real books. I know you're probably wondering why you just got all this other random stuff. No, I did get books. Often I don't really buy books for myself. I don't know why, just because I use the library a lot, but I've been trying to change that and buy books because I do want to collect books. So I got 3 books. The first book I got is this book called Trouble in New York by Sylvia Bishop. It is, I guess it's a middle grade kind of mystery thing. So I thought it'd be fun to read, especially because it's from the city. I don't know, something about like buying a book about the place that you're visiting is so much fun. And I got this for like $5. So I'm looking forward to reading that. When I go to bookstores, you probably saw I showed a picture of like all of the Louisa May Alcott books. And that's kind of reflective of like a little thing I do whenever I go to a library bookstore. I always love to pinpoint my favorite novel, which is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So every time I go to a bookstore, every time I go to a library, I always find Little Women. It's kind of like a comfort thing. It makes you feel like, okay, like I'm at home here. So I found Little Woman, and I looked at all different editions, and I decided I was gonna get an Alcott book because I only own Little Woman. I don't own any other Alcott book, and I've read all of her children's books. She wrote, I believe, 8. So I decided I was gonna start my collection and with one that I feel like reading, and that is 8 Cousins. So I first read 8 Cousins when I was quite young, and I really loved it. And I haven't read it in quite a while. So I'm looking forward to rereading it. It's about Rose, and she goes to live with her uncle and all her cousins. And there's so many cousins, they're all boys, and she's the only girl. And it's so much fun. They just like go on all these adventures. There's also a sequel, which is Rose and Blue, which I'd also recommend. Then the last book that I got was Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. Did you say Milne? Or I don't know how people say that actually. Let me know how you say that. I have been wanting to read Winnie the Pooh. I've been wanting to own a copy of Winnie the Pooh. I can't talk today. What's my problem? I can't talk. I've been wanting to own a copy of Winnie the Pooh for such a long time. I haven't read it since I was a little kid, and I really want to read it again. And I thought this copy was really cute, and again, it was like $6. So I'm very excited about this. It has all the original illustrations by E.H. Shepard, who's the father of Mary Shepard, who did the Mary Poppins books. Yeah, just a random little fun fact there. But anyways, it's Winnie the Pooh. So that is everything I bought while in New York, and that leads us to the very end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. I so enjoyed sharing these past 4 days with you. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and I will be back with more content very, very soon. Bye!